Hello everyone, this will be a quick overview of some changes over the past few months, plus a couple of things that are coming down the line. So first, a number of options and buttons and links have been consolidated into this kind of options menu. So here you have save and print, all your links, automation options, and also some desktop shortcuts. So I'm going to jump over to my Archer tab and use some keys to jump around the page. So if you're like a lot of people and you're stuck indoors trying to play Flechs, play using Flechs Sheets online using your desktop, hopefully that'll help you navigate a little bit more. In the next version, you'll also be able to use space to toggle, a toggle zoom wherever you're pointing, a la homeworld-like, so to say. And then, of course, you can still scroll zoom and double tap to zoom like normal. Next up, pilot naming. So here I have two Archer 1As. They're both listed like that, and if I want to target them, they show up like that, which is a little confusing. But if I give one of the pilots a name, the pilot name shows up in a tab, and if I go to shoot at one of these guys, it will also show up in the target dropdown and also in the target listing. And of course, if you're playing online, these names should also show up in the room and on for, let's see, other players. If you want to get rid of a name, just go to rename, delete it, and the unit name should, or make and model should show up right back there. The pilot names I don't think show up in the log right now so far as attacks go, but I think in the next version they should. It should be a little bit more detailed. I guess one last thing over here is there's now a link to more tools. So if you're kind of new to all the Flechs business, I've made a few other things over the past, I don't know, a few months or 6 months or whatnot, including this line of sight kind of sandbox, chaos campaign force manager, and then there's also some older stuff I've kind of pulled out. Like there's this old, from like 12 years ago, this like hit location game made in Flash. So if you want to like practice your hit locations, give that a shot. I think this is the last year that Flash is going to run in browser, so as it goes. And also the roadmap is a little bit more public now. To be frank, I make no promises to do anything other than keep this online for right now. But this at least might help you understand kind of what I'm looking at when I do add new features and things like that. So if you're looking for vehicles, you can find that, sorry, vehicles are won't do for the time being, probably for a long time. Or if you're like, oh, there's just the one small thing, I'm like, yeah, it's a small thing, but there's also all these other issues that I need to chip away at bit by bit. But if you're interested in some thinking behind the project or some things that I'm looking at, you can take a look at the roadmap. This is highly tentative. Sometimes I just make tweaks because I think it's interesting, or changes because someone's mentioned it. But that's there if you want to take a look. Coming soon, to change to incoming fire. So instead of, I guess, accept, there's now this resolve all, and also this resolve each. Resolve all acts like normal, but resolve each does something new. Now we would get a whole list of all the incoming fire, and we can kind of go through it one shot at a time, like so. Or a whole attacker at a time. Voila. Another thing that kind of goes along with this is the log will now, or not now, but will soon kind of auto scroll as things come in. So if you want to, you can also look at things that way without having to kind of resolve it and then kind of scroll all the way to the bottom. So this will be coming in the next version, but it could use a lot of poking at. So I'd really appreciate if you could take a look and point out anything that seems kind of, we'll say, weird or glitchy or wrong. Hopefully nothing's wrong. But yeah, feel free to send a comment or file an issue like normal using the yield link. On a last technical note, for those of you who are interested, I've been pretty impressed with the performance of this iPad. So this is a sixth generation iPad, a regular one. not the Pro, running like I think iOS 13.4 or so, and it's got better performance than Chrome on my desktop, which I think is pretty impressive. So, like for like adding things like this, I have to take some of these items and kind of pop them up in the document, which kind of triggers layout problems in Chrome. But Safari just seems to really crunch through this. So even though mobile Safari and Safari have been a little bit of a pain because they don't always have all the features I want, I've been really impressed with some of the performance, especially on the iOS devices. So this guy is maybe a couple years old by now. So I don't know if you're looking for a tablet. These guys are pretty good. And lastly, long overdue thanks to everyone who's chipped in on Ko-fi.com.